Right. Let's see the next game here. Trade setup -1 player, LA failing cheaply to hubs. Sorry, Keshi crate. Yeah, okay, yeah, maybe. I didn't realize you were raiding that bad. I didn't. The ecos didn't seem that far off, or the military either. So didn't quite catch that one, but good game. Well played. But now we're here with Lombardia. Let's see what this game brings. We have DADS on the right-hand side here, flaring some resource locations, most likely. Shakuni in the pocket this time around with Cumans. So Cumans don't get stone walls, so that will be up to the teammates here to utterly secure the edges of the team walls here as the game moves on. They have stronger palisades though, which can come in handy for the first bits of walls. I guess that's a team bonus as well, that the whole team gets stronger palisade walls. But generally speaking, you don't see a lot of early fuel age action on Lombardia, so that shouldn't be too much of a boost overall. But Cubans, obviously very mobile save, one of the strongest, or sorry, one of the fastest paladin in the game with a 15% speed increase from generic paladins. 5% increase from the fuel age onwards per age for humans. As general normal cavalry sibs have husbandry giving them plus 10 speed, so a little bit faster for humans could be something to take into account. But for Lombardia, we often see unique units into play, so I wouldn't rule out seeing Kipchap coming into play for the Cubans player here either, if they don't want to go exclusively for Knights and into Cavalier, into Paladin here. On the right side, we have Deno 037 with the Saracens. Cool choice for Lombardia. It makes it a lot more awkward for the other team to wall, because Saracens archers have a bonus against buildings, so they could break through walls more easily and take the enemy by surprise. Even in the fuel age, actually, if you have the decent chunk of fuel age archers for Saracens, they could break through the walls, and then one of the other players in the team could go scouts for some added damage potential. But that's speculation. I'm mainly assuming wall off and fast castle here still. Finally, left-hand side, we have Anon 642 with the Khmer again here. So second Khmer, and Khmer used 2 times these sets here. So potential for elephants again, if needed, could play the Knights role easily in Castle Age, or overall has an easy transition through the ages into an amazing boom. So I guess Khmer will prove handy here as well. Now let's see what Nepo clan has on their side here. We have Pac-Man Stally with the Lithuanians in the pocket. So relics will be of importance here to Pac-Man Stally, but there are 4 relics somewhat close to their side, so for the later game should be okay enough to collect the 4 relics needed for full damage or attack potential extra for the Lithuanians here. On the right hand side we have the Mr. Wolowitz with the Vietnamese. Archer civilization in every regard. They do have elephants as well if you want to meme around a bit, but archers, Wrath and Archer as the unique unit might something to be seen as well. They are basically like a Huskarl with bow and arrow, high pierce armor, and I think they even walk a little bit faster than the usual archers from the archery range, so that could also be something we'll see here. And finally we have Pleb Gordiola with the Vikings. The least mobile save of all here, I would say. But we'll see how it ends up working for them. They have fantastic economy and boom, of course. Could sling if the teammates are in a pinch, or they will be having fully upgraded arbalists they could bring to the field. So yeah. The very late game for Vikings, they would have a good option from the castle in the Berserker as well for some raiding potential, or to counter enemy infantry, enemy halberdiers maybe specifically, if you are able to mass Berserkers from castles. But I can see the good economy, the good boom potential, and fully upgraded archers will be the main play for Vikings here. Lacking a bit of mobility, but yeah, we'll see what kind of combinations they end up going for here. Walls going up here. We see 250 HP for the purple, but Cubans with that extra HP on the palisade walls gets a little bit more, 375. So that is a bit of an extra little security in the early game here. Fuel age in for Anon though, so with the convert here, could be thinking about the scouts. 18 pop. That's awfully early, but you also need to be up early on Lombardia to have any success with early fuel age action. Mr. Wolowitz might want to drop a house here just in case, but he is actually close to the woodland here. They are stressing the walls rather early here. They aren't quite complete yet, but we see Pac-Man Sally with their own scout here to protect the walling villager just in case. Other than that, the walls seem to be complete here. But if you have Saracen archers to break through these palisade walls, and you don't have the Cuban bonus for extra HP, there still might be some damage potential for fuel age here. Anon runs in with the scout, not to deny the walls, but to challenge Pac-Man Stally's scout here, and Pac-Man Stally wisely pulling the walling villager back as well to help attack the enemy scout here. This might very well go down for Anon here. Quite a bit of idle eco time for Pleb Guardiola. Is it the walling that takes its toll on the economy here? Maybe a double palisading this side, investing heavily into the walls. That is taking a toll on resource collection rate here. Overall, much less idle eco time for Nepo clan here. They haven't completely walled off their sides either. So, no, for DADS, I mean, on the south side, and Mr. Wolowitz of Nepo clan finds an opening in the south, and it's actually open on both sides for now for Nepo clan, but they don't seem too stressed out about it just yet. Humans, they can build another TC in the fuel age, and that's what Shakuni has been doing here. That's why we'll be seeing a pretty solid eco development and villager lead for Shakuni as well. Now 30 villagers for now, but with consistent production out of 2 town centers, that should mean a solid villager lead over the other civilizations come Castle Age. So some scouts moving forward now in collection with Arnold's Deno's archers here, looking for a weak spot maybe. Market here provides part of the wall. Let's also see what kind of intel they actually have on the enemy base here. Very limited, I would say. Maximum annoyance here. 2 scouts there, 2 scouts on the palisade gate. Just a few archers forward here from the Saracens player to break through. Look at this palisade gate just crumbling even to 3 Saracens archers here. Good house walling behind from Mr. Wolowitz, so we'll keep the aggression out, but in return, let's bring back this idle eco tab. Lots of idle eco time here from all these villagers committing to walling to try and keep their economy safe here. This woodland still able to be hit by those archers, I believe. They have +1, so they have fletching in as well. Some extra damage output there. Well, somehow the Anon scouts have found a way in over here, so they're hitting at multiple sites here now. Trying to break through here or just be plain annoying. Multiple stables going up for Pac-Man style though, already in the Castle Age and making knights, so it should be rather easy to fend this off. Meanwhile, we'll see that DADS have walled off both their sides at home as well, so no easy entry for enemy aggression at this point. Pac-Man style with knights out now should easily clean up this even with unupgraded knights. just a few late archers and some scouts here. Of course, the scouts are quicker than the knights, so you'd still need to catch up, but all in all, it shouldn't be too much when they should clean this up. What an annoyance though. Look at all the idle eco time for Mr. Well-Loads here. What's going on here? Some builders standing around or... Really convincing builder lead for DADS through all this as well. They have only one player on the way to the cast stage for now, but they are still sitting at a collected rather high builder lead here with the whole opposing team in cast stage. So Nepo playing it very defensively here and have to fend off this aggression, of course, at the cost of some serious idle economy and to some extent TC time here. On the other hand, Deno has had some serious idle TC time on their side as well, going into rather big masses of archers here and might be thinking about moving out once crossbow is an option here. Guardiola with the crossbow upgrade in now. I'm seeing some... not much aggression for the moment. Only thing that can save us here would be Cobra Cars, feels bad, man. Let's see the development here. Army numbers 25 to 23, pretty equal numbers here. Economy being extended as well from both ends. Looks rather similar. That's still the lead, but we won't players yet to reach the cast stage here. Did cause some serious annoyments early on here on Nepo clan's side though, so that sets them back a bit even with the straight fast castle approach here. But now Nepo clan are looking for revenge. Hmm. 25 crossbows for Deno, only 13 for Pleb Guardiola here, but in exchange there's a slight Knights numbers lead for Pac-Man style here. I'm assuming no relics have been collected yet, and that's the case. And if they're in the middle to collect the numbers here, maybe to let Deno in with the crossbow numbers here is going to have the lead and even have the hill advantage here over Pac-Man Stally and Pleb Guardiola. Just don't let go of the hill, hit and run here and make the best of it. Yeah, good call there by Nepo to pull back and not take that fight, obviously. Trying to keep on track of the military numbers, so slight military lead for Nepo, slight military lead for DADS. collecting all the armies at one spot though. So I see that a lot in Lombardia. With the whole home economy secured, you'd see players gathering up at some points and try to coordinate their archers and knights armies here. Feel like humans, Khmer Saracens in terms of mobility have the upper hand here though, because they have the ability to transition into more mobile options. We're of course always having the knights and elephants and everything, humans with camels in castle age if needed, but then maybe in the knights potentially Kipchak, and Saracens I doubt we'll be seeing Mamelukes, but that's obviously another option against the enemy cavalry as well. But you'd have could in a pinch go cav archers, and you have some of the best camels in the game as well. So Saracens heavy camels for the late game on Lombardia could prove valuable here for DADS. House wall going up here, keeping the irrigation out for the main part. This is a point of entry for Nepo clan though, even with a hill advantage on TC here, so I'm curious as to why they're not trying to use that. Maybe they feel like they need more numbers total to contest there, and they are right, by the way, because DADS have more collected military here. And of course, they need to react, because all of the army of DADS are on the other side. So Saracens crossbows pushing yet again could be very handy here to keep the enemies from both walling and from keeping the walls up here. Clearing some space here, going to take out the market. We don't want to trade in our village over here from Pac-Man Sally. So Demo says, no thank you, no trade for you. Good quick housing behind here to keep the cavalry out though, but there's one going down, and now with so many of the armies of Nepo clan out of position, they did reinforce with especially Lithuanian knights here, but still again have to deal with some pressure at home here that could be devastating in the long run. 84 to 54 military, solid military lead to DADS here now. Might seem to struggle a bit here as well. They do have the +2, as is the case. The upgrades are the same on the knights for both players here. Humans, knights shouldn't have the speed advantage until Imperial Age. They should be in +10%, just like Haspa 3 gives them. But the general foe units, we have 20 knights against 3 now from DADS over Nepo clan here. Crossbow number is also higher for the Saracens, but collected. Even collected with Viking and Vietnamese armies here, and DADS have the upper hand in terms of numbers. That's pretty impressive here, all things considered. Eco lead and army lead for DADS here, playing Lombardia to perfection so far. The hill here now could be a long-term plan of a forward castle here from DADS. That would make sense to have a strategic point to fall back to control the hill. There's the castle, and also kind of protects this relic, so it's not going to be obtainable for the Lithuanian player. Doesn't seem to be much of a concern though, because relics have hardly been Pac-Man Sally's focus here now, having to commit army mainly to fighting and defending, meaning that you can't really go out and contest the map control for relics. Castle in a more than decent spot here for Pac-Man Sally, but look at the map control. It's essentially all DADS map control now, with even the forward castle fortifying their position. Do have Imperial Age on the way for Club Gordio, but the same can be said about Shakuni here, the Cuban's player dropping the castle. So we'll be looking at the Trebors here, and alas, it's the purple player going imp, and the Vikings castles are over here, so they're going to venture quite a bit for the Trebs to challenge the castle on this side. Let's see if they actually know about the castle going up at all here. Not really. Nope. Forward stables as well, for example, we need to have easier replenishment of numbers here. 28 knights to 12 still over Lithuanians though, and still we should be seeing a player over here. Boxing fight. Nice. And Pac-Man Study just refuses to address this. It's going to let these men and women batter away on TC until it goes up. What is this? Alright, so TC goes up, but Pac-Man Study is severely outnumbered here, and this TC will be very short-lived to say the least. No gold for you, says Shakuni. Here goes the TC right down, and a couple of villagers at it. Villagers situation not that uneven, but it's still a 20-30 villagers lead over also DADS here. 98 to 85 army. Yeah, the villagers eco and military lead for DADS here, and denying some map control of Nepo clan here, just to take that TC spot for himself. And Cure elephants on the move as well. Anon with another castle forward here, going to maybe bring in some of the elephants to defend the builders. And then up on the hill here we have solid chunk of Cuman's knights, probably soon to be Cavalier, only 58 seconds away. Do you have trebs in queue? 3 trebs in queue total to start contesting the buildings of Mr. Wallowitz here, and this very much forward TC is in grave danger here. Note that walls are going up in the middle as well. These stone walls, they're not only parting the map in half for DADS here, it's also going to secure their trade route from any raids in the very back corner here. As is usual, we see some markets up already from Anon down here. And Nepo clan, however, haven't even started dropping the markets, so they will be falling behind in the gold situation here. Saracens in imp as well, with Arbalest 61, Arbalest no less, and DADS are going to struggle hard here, being on the way to the Imperial Age, granted, but with much less military to benefit from it. Humans Cavalier now in the enemy bases here with Arbalest to protect as well. Nepo clan don't really seem to have doesn't seem to have run into any significant switches for halberdiers or pikes here either, but that's not going to help all that much with all these Arbalests on the field either. Saracens Arbalest to slaughter buildings, and same for the Trebs to push on cast. This isn't looking good for Nepo clan. They're also down more than 2,000 in score, must be pretty demoralized here. Humans in economy insane behind all of this as well. Let's see, Shakuni here with generally Solid can afford another castle as well, as this one goes down. One castle almost down from Viking Trebs here as well though, so Nepo clan are fighting back to some extent. Issue being Cavaliers still on the way here. 31 knights now to become Cavalier. Can they push back this forward? They should be taking some serious loss though. Look at the villager numbers. 100 villagers lead with DADS, and military lead more than 60 units. Shouldn't be possible to for Nepo clan to hold this and get back from it with these armies raiding their bases and no trade running to support further gold units to the field. Getting rather laggy here, but we have these disco lights from the buildings in the snow as well. Yeah, base has been reached. Mr. Wallowitz and his team holds it at that. It's going to be a 2-0 for DADS, and a very solid performance on both maps here by DADS. I didn't expect that hideout game to end when it did, but Lombardia seems well within their grasp as well, and having humans on Lombardia seemed like a very good choice here for that, securing that 2 TC boom early and then go into an earlier Imperial Age with lots more units to benefit from it. So GG well played. We'll be taking a first division set as well after this one. Could actually have a look at the stats before doing so. Let's bring up AoE 2. Come on. GG indeed, but look at the Cuban score and eco here. It's just insane. Minute 41 to have. Yeah, not so much, not that much builders either, but multiple TC boom kicking in earlier. Thanks for the cast. You're welcome. It was my pleasure. 162 to 49 Nepo Shakuni. That's that earlier Imperial Age spike as well to help out for sure. And the uptimes are a little bit of feudal aggression really paid off for dads here. Combination of Saracens, Archers, and Scouts to get through. Massive Khmer boom here. Not really providing that much in the end, but certainly for the late game would be able to provide a lot as well. And yeah, GG. So we have one game left, and that's Champagne versus Drugina on Nomad. So that could be fun. Thanks for the cast. You're welcome. Big break again, and Drugina to end it.